What it is, my 10 piece and grease here, and we need to talk about update 30.9 as well as the primed resurgence and how that's going to function, at least as far as we know right now. First of all, I want to start this video off with the good additions to this update, like I normally do. First of all, DE has improved several of the UIs as well as a bunch of bug fixes, optimizations. They implemented the Forma being tied to your MR rank change, as well as simplified the ticker rating system. And probably the most important update to this, the addition to this entire update, is probably going to be the new player guide. This is something that should have been in the game for years now. But as the saying goes, better late than never. So for these specific improvements and or additions, kudos to you, DE. It's a good job. Those are really well done. With that being said, although I do have a bone to pick, and the bone is this. They have reduced the cost of amps as well as ores and gems, necromech crafting as well, and also increased the standing for sentient cores. That's fine, that's good. Making those things cheaper and easier for newer players is an excellent decision, so I have no problem with that. However, your experienced veteran players have had to pay full price for those things. But yet you offer no reimbursement. Meaning that when I downloaded this update and I signed in for the very first time, there should have been a message waiting in my inbox, and in which you gave me a partial refund on those things, in the same way that you're discounting them for newer and intermediate players. So while I don't have a problem with you discounting those things for newer players, at the same time there needs to be some consistency. Furthermore, you can't take advantage of your experienced and veteran players and expect them to pay full price when you're giving a discounted price to your newer and intermediate players. So yeah, that needs to be rectified ASAP. Now with that being said, let's talk about how the primed resurgence is going to work. Now this goes live on November 16th, which is 4 days away, and it's going to go live on all platforms on that date. In order to participate, all you got to do is go to Maru's Bazaar on Mars, and you'll find a vendor there by the name of Varzia, and she will have all of these various prime items that you can purchase. Now, in case you're wondering, well, how do I purchase said items? Well, they added 2 new resources. The first one is Aya. Now, this is a free resource that you get just by doing some certain specific missions. Now, you can get them from running the bounties in several of the open worlds, and you can also get them by buying relic packs from various locations. You can potentially get Aya from those as well. But previously, whenever there was a bolted prime that got unbolted, it automatically went to the drop table in the void missions. In fact, currently Rhino Prime and Nyx Prime are unbolted, and if I wanted the relics, I would just simply need to run any of these missions to get the relics. Done. Just that simple. However, with primed resurgence, the unbolted relics are now leaving the void. And the new resource, Aya, is going to take its place in the void. Meaning that if you want to earn Aya, which is free in-game to earn, all you have to do is run these void missions, or run bounties in the open worlds, or I guess buy a bunch of relic packs and you have a chance to get some as well. Now, does this add an extra step? Yeah, because as it stands now, all I got to do is run this mission and I get the relics. Now, with primed resurgence, I'm going to have to run the very same missions, not to get the relic, but instead get the Aya resource that I then have to take back to Mars at Maru's Bazaar and take it to the vendor and then select the relic. It's not that big of a deal. Is it minor? Well, I should say it is annoying. Yes, I agree it is, but it's not that big of a deal. And the truth of the matter is, in theory, primed resurgence is a good idea because the vault can't last forever. right now, as it stands, the vault is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until it becomes completely unmanageable, as it is. Every time we get a new frame and a primed frame, another prime goes in the vault, over and over and over again. And that's never going to stop. And the vault is going to continue to outgrow itself. So, and again, in theory, Prime Resurgence is a good idea. In practice, we start to have some problems. The first is this. If you are under the illusion that you're going to be able to buy Prime access and Prime accessories and Prime bundles and built Prime Warframes and built Prime weapons and built Prime accessories with the free Aya, got bad news. You can't. Just about the only damn thing you're going to be able to do with Aya is buy the unbolted Prime relics. That is it. Sadly. But that is it. So at this point, you're probably like, okay, well, wait a minute. Well, then how do I get the bundles and the access and the accessories? Well, that leads us into the second resource that DE has added to the game, and that is Regal Aya. However, there is some bad news in that Regal Aya is a premium currency, meaning that you must use your real world money to buy it. There is no way for you to earn Regal Aya in the game. You can't trade with other players. There's nothing in the entirety of this game that you can do to earn Regal Aya. The only way that you can get it is if you buy it. That is all. Now there are 3 packages for Regal Aya. There's 3 Regal Aya for $20 US, 7 Regal Aya for $40 US, and 15 Regal Aya for $80. Now, there's a reason they only have 3 packages and they're priced at the point that they are, and it's no coincidence that all of these Prime items are priced at completely different price points, because that's right, it seems as if somebody at EA or Bethesda has joined the DE studio, because this is very similar to something that you would see from them. They intentionally priced these Prime items so they're just out of range of the lowest price point, so you must buy the next package of Regal Aya higher. Yeah. Now on the surface, I would say it's not that big of a deal, because ultimately it's nothing different than what we've normally seen. Currently, if I wanted to buy one of these vaulted Prime bundles, I'm going to have to pay for it with cash. Now, if I want it, I'm going to have to pay for it with cash by buying the Regal Aya. However, the difference is I get to pay the exact price and no more. However, with Regal Aya, I don't get to pay the exact price. In many instances, I'm having to pay over what I wanted to just to get what I wanted. So for example, let's talk about some of these prices. Let's say I just wanted a single Prime style access, right? Single bundle. That's going to cost me 6 Regal Aya, which I can't spend the $20 on the 3. I'm actually going to have to spend $40 on 7. Even though I don't need 7, I still have to buy the $40 package. If I wanted a bundle like this with 2 of the unbolted Primes, that is going to run me 10 Regal Aya. And unfortunately, this second Regal Aya bundle conveniently doesn't have enough Regal Aya, so I've got to buy the next package up for 15 Regal Aya, even though I don't need 5 of those, which is going to run me $80 to buy that Regal Aya package. If you wanted just a Warframe by itself, you're going to have to, that's 3 Regal Aya, that's going to run you $20. If you wanted just the weapon by itself, that's going to run you 2 Regal Aya. That's $20 as well. If you wanted just a Noggle, a Prime Noggle, so I guess we're at the point where we're just selling Prime Noggles at this point. That's going to run you 1 Regal Aya, but conveniently there are no single Regal Ayas. There's only a 3-pack, which means it's going to run you $20 for a Noggle, which is insane. And then, of course, if you wanted some of the accessories, those are going to run you anywhere from 1 to 3 Regal Ayas. So that's going to be $20 to $40 for some customizations. So yeah. Now, I wish I could say that was the end of the trouble, but it's not. DE has announced it on the bundles. They're also going to be pulling the Platinum. You heard me correctly. So instead of getting Platinum, you're going to be getting, you know, Endo. I cannot make this up. I'm being 100% dead serious. Yeah. All I could really suggest to you, DE, is that you select, if that's the case, I would have no problem with getting Endo as long as you absolutely slash the prices on all of this stuff. Because if there's no Endo, these are only worth a fraction of what they would be with Platinum. Without Platinum, they're not worth a fraction. So this idea that this double Prime bundle is going to cost me $80 with no Platinum, that's just straight up horseshit. Let me tell you what this double bundle package is worth to me without Platinum. For both packages, $30 tops. Not a penny more. How much did the single package cost? $12 to $15. No more. No Platinum, no pay. Just that simple. The Platinum is probably the most valuable thing in these. And the fact that you're removing them means that these are really aren't worth jack squat. So yeah, unfortunately, we don't even have this event yet, and it already seems doomed before it starts, which is a shame. Because again, I definitely think this whole Prime Resurgence idea is necessary. DE has to do something different than what they already are. This Volt thing isn't going to work forever. It's just not. It's just a shame that there's so many poor decisions made here. But can't say that I'm surprised considering some of the poor decisions made with Nidus Prime Access and accessories. It definitely seems as if this was rushed because you could clearly tell there was really no thought given to some of these really basic ideas. But let me know what you guys and gals think down in the comments section below. And by the way, if it's before the 16th and you figure out there's a drop rate, or whether or not that drop amount is going to be affected by Necros, etc., let me know down in the comment section. Again, November 16th, we'll all know by that point. Also, let me know, as I said, let me know what you guys and gals think about all of this. And until next time, peace out.